Namaskar and welcome to the next part of the strategic management video lecture series. In this lecture, we will look at a very commonly confused area of strategic formulation. A commonly confused area of strategic formulation, and that is the confusion of choice between whether to form a joint venture or whether to go for a strategic alliance. Well, in both the cases, two companies or more companies, two or more, in fact it is more than one company, they come together, they partner, they decide to pool together resources, and in both the cases, both the companies are legally involved. So, both or all the participating companies are legally involved. This is where the confusion arises, whether to go for a strategic alliance or to go for a joint venture. The decision lies with the combining partners, what they wish to achieve. If they want to create a separate legal entity, they do not want any stake, any risk in the third entity. They want it to be treated as a legal third existing or independent legal entity. Then they must go for joint venture. But if they wish to continue having control, I mean together they want to pool resources, but neither of them wants to go off this third existing party. It may or may it will become a legal entity, but the amount of control that these two, the combining companies have on this third entity or the combined entity will be much larger than that in case of a joint venture, because it is an independent legal entity. It also has an existence, independent existence, but the amount of control which these two exert on this third entity will be immense, will be sizable, and we will understand why. Well, in a joint venture, this third party, this third entity might choose to be or to continue itself in a related business. Manufacturers of plastic, two manufacturers of plastic equipment, plastic furniture, they might wish to come together and form a third entity, and that third entity might also continue to produce this the same product line, plastics, or it may choose to completely diversify into an altogether unrelated business. So, in that case, the expertise of both these parents in plastics is not going to be relevant anymore if this legal entity decides to go into, let us say, banking, or let us say steel, or let us say electronics, or some kind of manufacturing. So, in that case, the expertise of these parents, they do not hold any significance anymore. So, these are certain points in joint venture where the third party will have separate objectives. It does not have to do anything with the parent's objectives. It will obviously have separate accounting, being a legal entity, and its strategies, its objectives are different. So, that is why obviously its strategies adopted will be different. Whereas in the strategic alliances, as you can see here, will generate its own revenues, will generate its own funds, will have it might enlist itself in a stock exchange and gather revenue from the public. But here the companies, since they wish to have a fair amount of control over this third existing entity, they will contribute resources. Normally this is what happens, they will contribute resources to this alliance, and thus since their resources are being diverted towards this third party, third entity, the amount of control will be fairly large. And This is another very distinct point of a strategic alliance, that the alliance as a partnership might be broken upon agreed upon guidelines. Certain agreed upon guidelines are set during the formation of the alliance or in the process of gradual working together, that we will separate at a certain timeline or upon fulfillment of certain objectives. Again, the objectives might be combined here. That had a separate, joint venture companies have a separate set of objectives. Here the objectives might be combined. So, in this case, once these combined objectives are fulfilled and satisfied, they might separate, and this separation is first of all agreed upon. It has been written down and agreed upon by all the combining entities. Related or unrelated, well, that flexibility we had in joint venture. In strategic alliance, since they wish to have a fair amount of control over this, usually companies do not divulge into unrelated activities. In a strategic alliance, they might bring together their technology, lastly, in a strategic alliance, normally companies engage in related activities only, activities in which they have a certain expertise. They might leverage their own existing technology and enter a different geography using a third separate strategic alliance between two parties. Now, this could be a company from a certain market, let us say Europe, and this could be a company from a certain market, let us say India. The European, let us say German company decides to partner with an Indian company. Market 2 is India, market 1 is Germany. These two companies they might combine. German partner agrees to give its technology to the existing Indian company, and after the completion of, let us say, 20-year project, it will decide to separate. Now, the German company will only contribute technology because it is an expert in that technology only. So, that is why it has entered into a related activity. Similarly, the Indian partner could be a construction company who takes help from the German technology supplier to cater to its technology needs. It could be a construction company. So, in the strategic alliance, this company will continue its construction related activities only and not in any new business. So, that is about the difference between and this is a pretty important difference which should clear the confusion between the joint venture and a strategic alliance. I hope the differences are clear to you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we will meet again in the next lecture. Thank you very much.